Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good afternoon to those of you that are on the East Coast. Good morning to those of you that are on the West Coast or in Mountain Time. Happy to see you all today. We already have 1,000 people here, and it'll just grow and grow and grow and grow. What an incredible day yesterday. I was checking in throughout, and oh my God, I caught the replay. Wow, is Michelle not just on another level of incredible, guys? Like legit. Is she not just an incredible human being with so much to offer, completely transparent, willing to share her knowledge, her time, her expertise, and that energy? God. Paul is a lucky man. Also, Michelle is a lucky woman because Paul is no slouch himself. He is incredible at what he does. Such a true spirit, and the way that he is continuously pouring into people in the community who are doing deals with him out in Tennessee has just been another level of go-giver. And so big thanks, guys. Big thanks to Ryan Zolan, who started us off, Michelle and Paul, who were with us yesterday. But today, oh boy, today, guys, today is going to be another level. Some of you have been sending me emails, DMs over the last couple of days saying, Jamil, the Privy software is next level, incredible. What a fantastic tool to get into the business and get your, cut your teeth. Immediately figure out how to find leads, source them from the noise of the MLS, to be able to then rapidly comp those leads, to then being able to immediately find potential buyers for those deals. I mean, this is the 1, 2, 3 step to the business. And I am so happy that you guys have been here with us over the last couple of days to see that this doesn't have to be rocket science. There have been people who have been financially motivated to complicate this business. Okay? There are people out there in the past, our predecessors in the space of coaching, not all of them, some are amazing, but some have been financially motivated to confuse the crap out of you so that you can pay them $100,000 and learn how to do this business from them. And I and Pace and Brent, the reason why we do what we do is to absolutely turn that over on its head. No more. No more, we say. But truly, this is about showing you how really simple this process can be. We need a lead. We need to understand how to evaluate that lead. We need to have a conversation, and we need to get our money, right? I wish that there had been individuals who had that thought to be as simple with this as we're trying to make this, when Pace, myself, and Brent were all trying to do this business in the beginning. It would have saved us a lot of time. But we are exactly where we're supposed to be, myself and you included. It's Sunday morning or afternoon, wherever you might be, and you're here today. You're here learning how to possibly transform your life. So before we get any further, give yourself a moment and thank yourself. Thank yourself for believing in yourself enough to get out of bed, to put aside distraction, to make the choice to prioritize what we do here rather than being out at brunch. And I'm not saying prioritize this on church, guys, because you all know that I have a deep relationship with the Lord. But prioritizing other things. And for some of us, learning, being involved in our financial destiny and showing the universe and ourselves that we are dedicated to this. For some of us, this is our church. To be able to be here, to work, to communicate, to connect with other human beings in a loving and true way, to get towards what we're trying to accomplish in life. That is a spiritual practice. And thank you and thank yourself for doing it. You deserve it. Is everybody able to see me? I just want to make sure that you guys can see me. I just saw in the chat that people might not have been able to see me. Okay, Emily, can you help Benson? Wow. Look at all the wonderful people in there. All of you that I know and those of you that I don't know that are in the chat right now. God bless you. I am so excited for you to continue on this journey. And day 3 is about to begin. Now, our star today is somebody that you all had met during the Secret Agent Challenge. I met Brittany Berryman through the Astro Flipping program, and she has been a phenom, a force to be reckoned with. She came into the program with zero knowledge or history or training in real estate, but she had a desire to change her financial destiny, to be more available time and energy-wise for her family. Her son is a successful actor here in Los Angeles, starring in movies. Brittany is full-time employed and makes a great income in her full-time job. However, she wasn't satisfied. She needed more financial security. She needed to have an outlet where she could control how much money she could bless her family with so that she could spend more time helping her son, helping her husband, and helping her family get to the next level in life. And she found Astro Flipping. In a very short time, Brittany's success in the program has been just incredible to watch. So without further ado, Emily, would you do me a favor and kindly bring Brittany Berryman to the stage?
What's up?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Brittany, you are such a beautiful, incredible person. Thank you for joining us on this Sunday morning and blessing us all with your time, with your knowledge, with your energy, with your work. How are you?
I'm freaking fantastic. I am so good. So good. So good.
Brittany, for those of us that are just getting to meet you for the first time today, would you mind telling us a little bit about you, what brought you to Astro Flipping and how it's been going?
So first of all, thank you for having me. Thank you for the nearly 600 people in this session right now. Oh my goodness, you guys are here on a Sunday morning where most people are either sleeping in or had a fun Saturday night and doing other things. So Thank you all for being here. I'm just so blessed. Woke up with my meditation of gratitude. And yeah, I would love to tell you guys about myself because it hasn't always been this way. Literally, see, we're February 2022. My life was in a completely different stage a year ago today. I had no astro flipping in my life. I had no real estate investing in my life. Some of you who are an astro student know my backstory of even, from 10 years ago, I shared it with the group. But I just want to even go back to just a year ago. As Jamil mentioned, I have a 12-year-old son who is an actor in Hollywood. Let me go back a little further. We lived in Texas for years. It's where my boys were born. We lived in College Station, Texas for 17 years. 6 years ago, we made a really, really, really bold move to California from Texas. So talk about cost of living change, lifestyle change. We went from paying a mortgage of $950. Actually, it was rent. We didn't own that house. A rent of $950 in Texas to quadruple that in California. And even though my husband and I both had, good jobs, it's not the same, from Texas to California. And so in my mind, a year ago, I was like, gosh, my 12-year-old literally knows exactly what he wants to do in life. He wants to be an actor. He's on films. He's on TV shows. My husband, he had a passion. My 15-year-old had the passion for football. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was literally stuck in and I don't want to say stuck because my job has been a blessing, but I was in a job that was just a mundane, go to work, done, repeat. I love my job. Well, I love the people that I work with, but did I have a passion for what I was doing? I needed something I was passionate about. And I always had this feeling of real estate. I never want to be a real estate agent because that is not getting into real estate. There's a difference of getting into real estate and being a real estate agent. Being a real estate agent means you're running around showing people houses and you might do okay, but you're not setting up for financial success. So I never wanted to be a real estate agent. In March of 2021, I jumped the gun. I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy my first investment property. Bought a single family home that I started renting out. And I was like, okay, that's one house that I'm cash flowing maybe $300-400 a month. That's not gonna replace my income. How do I repeat this over and over and over again? And how many single family homes do I need to have to make up for the income of my job? April, some of you don't know this, Jamil, I don't think I've ever shared this with you. April of 2021, a month after we closed on the home that we purchased in Texas as a rental property, that April, my husband lost his job. And mind you, we live in California. So I'm like, okay, now it's just my income. And we just purchased a rental property. We have this, we live in California. And the feeling that I felt in that moment, I never wanted to feel again. I was like, I don't ever want either of us to have to rely on 9-to-5 jobs to be our income. I don't want to be stuck where we're like, oh my gosh, we lost a job. What are we gonna do? We have when you're in that, you have no control over your life. You're literally relying on an employer to tell you, yes, you can have a life. No, you can't have a life. And I was like, that will never, ever, 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 ever be our situation. So at that point, I started looking up, okay, what can I do to speed up the process? When you start Googling stuff, real estate investing, I was listening to Bigger Pockets at the time. There was a couple on there who was talking about wholesaling. I think they made like $2,700. And I was like, and that was a small amount, but how excited they were when they made $2,700. I was like, okay, if they can do that, I can do that times 10. I'm a very confident person, guys. So
you are.
If someone can do something, I know I can do it better. Started Googling wholesaling. When you start Googling stuff, Facebook finds you and they're like, ooh, I'm gonna put all this stuff on your stuff about wholesaling. Thank God they did, because I saw Jamil. And And before that, actually, me and my friend, it was Mother's Day weekend. We're like, let's get on the phone and cold call people. Before I even looked at astro flipping, we cold called for 2 hours, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is miserable.
It's so hard.
It was so hard, so hard. We're calling people who have been dead for 3 years and talking to their family members, and we're like, oh, this is so horrible. But I was determined. Thankfully, found astro flipping, and the rest is history, guys. I mean, you were talking this is May of 2021. So it hasn't even been a full year yet. From May of 2021 till December of 2021, I made $215,000.
Woo! Yeah.
And that's probably it in full, it probably take me 2.5 years to make that, and just my before taxes, after taxes. So now fast forward to today. I have a great system. I make it again. I still work. And let me say this, because I get a lot of questions that come to me through Facebook, through messaging, through a lot of systems, texting. People ask me, well, how do you keep a 9-to-5 and do this? You know what? You can come up with I could have every single excuse as to why this can't work. I could say, well, I have a 9-to-5 job. I have 2 kids. I have a kid who has football practice every single day. I have a kid who's an actor where I have to go and do his self-tapes and help a 12-year-old memorize a script. I'm a female in a male-dominated industry. I'm a Black female in a male-dominated industry. I could have every single excuse as to why this doesn't work. None of it is true. Because where you put yourself, where you are right now is the result of everything that you've done to this point. And if you're stuck, or if you're just starting, or if you've been doing this for years, you're like, I haven't gotten a deal yet. Think about what you've been doing. Have you stopped? Have you pressed the pause button? Do you give up? How do you start your mornings? You can go through so many things that can literally change everything in your life. And the thing that changed me it wasn't even the wholesaling process. It was what Jamil taught through the Astro program of the mindset. So my mindset immediately shifted. It was like, there's no way. I self-talk. I asked my question. When I'm driving the car, I'm like, literally, this is before I even made a deal. I was driving in my car. I was like, man, why am I such a good wholesaler? Man, why am I so good at this? Because I'm self-talking. I'm asking myself, why am I so, and then I became really good at it. So, first, I just want to tell you, like, if you have this mindset that you can't do something for whatever reason, it's not real. I'm sorry, it's just not. You have to make it a point. If you want success, if you have a vision for your family, if you have a goal, no one's going to do it for you. Pace, I was listening to him in a video he was doing one day, and he was talking to a guy, and the guy was like, well, I'm working, so I'm waiting for them. He was like, why are you waiting? If you want to be successful, you wait for no one. If you want to be rich, you wait for no one. And I'm sorry, I actually get from the Secret Agent Challenge, I got a lot of people that came to me for help, and I helped them where I can, but I still have a business to run. If you were waiting for me, you're not going to be successful. Right. You can't wait for it. I even come to a stop sign now. I'm not going to wait for, people that you're sitting at a stop sign and they're waiting for you to go. You're waiting for them to go. And you're like, somebody go. I don't wait for anybody anymore. I'm going. You don't wait. So that's my story. Again, I work a 9-to-5 job and I make a pretty good income, but on top of that, I make we're in February. So this year alone, these 2 months, I've made an average of $50,000 a month just in wholesaling. And the cherry on the top of all of this, my husband and I, our family, we bought 2.5 acres of land and we're building our dream home now. And it's a year ago, that was not even in, yeah, right. That was like a 10-year maybe dream. But in less than a year, we're able to do that because of what we found and what I found in astro flipping, because of Jamil, because of what he teaches, because of the system, because of what we're about to walk you through today. and how easy this is. Don't complicate it. Don't complicate it. You know, some people want to try this, try that. I've done it. I mean, I'll be true. Like I think, I tried doing the cold calling thing. I was like, why am I doing this? Like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So, and I went back to the roots of what I did that's successful. And it's MLS deals, it's talking with agents, building relationships. So
That's it.
That's it.
You know, the funny thing is, right, is sometimes I get somebody who reaches out to me, they DM me from an IG or a Facebook ad, and they say, they want to know. They're like, Jamil, just tell me what it is. Just tell me what it is. Like, I just need to know what it is. I just like me telling you, building relationships with agents or using a tool that scrapes the MLS so that you can, get to comping is going to move the needle, or showing you and teaching you how to understand value, how to know what something is worth so that you know when you have a deal, how to connect with wholesalers and how to be able to curate other wholesaler opportunities, to be able to build a robust buyers list to getting out there so that if you even have another colleague in the business, you can move their deals. I mean, guys, astro flipping isn't one technique. It's the business. It's what made us the most successful wholesale operation in the planet. And if you're still sleeping on it, you're out of your friggin' mind.
Yes.
You're out of your mind. You are legitimately out of your mind. If you're still sitting there like, I don't know. maybe I just need to, do some direct mail. Like, if you're still sleeping on this, guys, like, get your heads out of your butts. Like, this is no joke. This is life or death. Some of you went to college and spent $250,000, $100,000 on your friggin' political science degree. And yet you put a frame around that shit and you put it up in your office like it means something.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I get so emotionally charged about this because your lives are important to me. They are. And I see so many people just struggling with what's going on between the most important real estate that they have in their lives, and what's going on in here and what's going on in here. And that's where we fall. That's where we fail. And so when we call this a transformation challenge, I always tell my students, I pull off the greatest bait and switch in the history of this business, because I get you into my program thinking I'm going to teach you real estate, and then I'm going to change the way that you are as a person.
Yeah.
And from there, we're going to go out there and we're going to climb the mountains together, and we're going to make all the money.
Yes.
And you're right. It's no excuse. I've got somebody in the chat right now who is a major television network executive who has 16 different series that they produce. They're also a fireman. They're also obsessed with real estate. And so they show up. They don't need to be here. They're here because they're obsessed with this game. They're obsessed with this business. They're obsessed with what this business can do for you. There are no excuses, guys. There are no excuses. Brittany, you not only do this, but how many hours a day do you work out?
Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention that.
She lifts, guys. She lifts.
Yeah. Right now, literally go click on that link underneath my name in the pin tab. Follow me on Instagram. She lifts is my Instagram tag. So that is my fun thing. So guys, my day, when people ask me, well, how do you do so much in a day? I wake up at 4:30, usually every morning. I get into the gym, usually by 5 o'clock. I work out about 2.5 hours a day. My rest days are strategically on Thursdays and Sundays. And that's what I do. I do CrossFit in the gym. I've been doing it for almost 8 years now. I compete in, what they call the CrossFit season, the open, everything leading up to that. So without, you may call people, and that's my time I block out. You have to have boundaries, and you have to have, and I don't like to say balance. I believe there's no such thing as balance. If you try to balance your life, there's no such thing. You're going to stress yourself out. You have to put time blocks without any, you can't get outside of that. Like, so if I say I'm working out from 5 to 7:30, I'm working out from 5 to 7:30. Nothing else is coming in between that. My family knows that. My husband knows that. You're taking the kids to school on the days that I'm working out. They know that without a doubt. So yeah, that's my, yeah, I would flex, but I have a long sleeve shirt on.
You're incredible. And your life is a flex, Brittany. Your life is a flex. Okay, so let's just leave it there. And you know, someone in the chat just said, you make time for what you love.
Yes.
Make time for what you love. You make time for what you love. Stop it. Stop it. Stop making excuses. Stop being a victim. Stop doing it. You make time for what you love. If you really love this, if you really want this, if you really want to change your life, you make the time. You make the time.
Yep. And only you can do that. Nobody's going to make the time for you. Not your spouse, not your kids, not your mom, not your dad, not your nobody's going to make the time for you. You have to make the time for yourself. Nobody cares about honestly, people don't care about your time. They don't. You know, you have to do it, and you have to set boundaries. You have to set non-negotiables. Like doing this business, having my KPIs, meeting those KPIs are non-negotiables. You can't have success without setting non-negotiables. Period. Done. But yeah, so I'm excited for this challenge.
I'm excited for it too. Emily, would you do me a favor and just put in the chat a link to the astro flipping community? If you have any interest, guys, in learning a little bit more about how to get involved in the community, and it is a community. This is not just a mentorship. This is not a course, guys. This is a way of life. This is a way of life. This is a community. You do. How many deals do you do with astro flipping students, Brittany? How many deals do you do with Keegly?
Oh my gosh. So literally just in the last week, I've done 3 deals with Keegly, and we're closing on 3 deals with Keegly. Well, I'm closing on 3 deals with Keegly.
And what are you going to make on those 3 deals?
Total will be, I have to add it all up. Actually, I have it here on my board. So 10, 17, $31,000 in 2 weeks.
Like, get out of town, guys. What the heck?
And again, it's a relationship. You know, it's one of the bigger Keegly franchises in Texas. Remember, I'm in California. When I closed on that first deal, they're like, oh, you make it happen? All right, here's another one. Here's another one. Here's another one. And it's with astro students, even from the agent challenge, people, they know they call me the Texas girl. So they'll bring it to me and they know the deal will close. Or I'll bring it to them. You know, I'm like, hey, I have this. Do you have a buyer? And we close. From the secret, I think I got 3 people they closed on their very first deal after the agent challenge. And, you know, assignment fees of $10,000, $15,000. And it's because of the collaboration. Here's the thing. You can't be selfish in this. It's so easy to say, oh, well, I can lock that up and I can go and, you know, find a buyer myself and I can make $30,000, blah, 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 blah. Okay. But how many times can you, if you build a relationship with someone and you're splitting those fees and it just keeps happening over and over, what do you want? One deal? Or do you want multiple where it's fair for everyone? And I look at it this way. If it's $5,000, heck, it's $5,000 more than I would have had yesterday. It's about relations. You can't be selfish in this, guys, because karma is a thing. Yep. What you give comes back to you. Always. And I'm really excited. You know, towards the end of this call, I'm actually going to bring on an agent that literally, you know, to wrap it, he literally transformed my life. He was my very first deal that transformed my life, that gave me the confidence that we could do it. Using what I learned through Astro and reaching out to agent. I was like, pick up the phone, call the agent. We'll talk about that. But Yeah. So
we're gonna get rolling here, guys. I keep seeing in the chat people are you're having video problems or you can't hear anything. If something like that happens, leave and come back. Just leave and come back. It gets glitchy sometimes. It's technology. It's not perfect. Leave and come back. Okay. Hit reset. Do the things. Do the things. Just don't sit there and be like, oh well. Do something. Right. Reset your computer. Do what you got to do. Brittany, you know that I am a strong believer in our necessity to collaborate with our creator. And so for those of you that are new here, I will always start these things the same way. I start them with a prayer, because it is my belief that if we are collaborating with our creator, that anything and everything we want will find its way to us. We need only ask. Now, if that makes you uncomfortable, no problem. You can mute us for the next minute. But if you're with us, here we go. Father God, we love you so much, Lord. Thank you for today. Thank you for blessing us all with breath, for opening our eyes, for giving us the mental faculties to be able to be here, to communicate, to connect, to learn. God, we are just so grateful for that. Lord, we ask that you make your purpose for each of our lives abundantly clear to us, so that the steps we take are your steps, the words we speak, your words, the actions we take, your actions. God, we ask that you guide us to those individuals and those circumstances that'll be of benefit to us, either through a financial gain or a lesson to be learned, and that you deflect us from those people that would waste our time or bring us harm. God, we ask that for any of the family members that are here today that are in need of any physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual healing, that you provide perfect healing in their lives. And for any of us here today that might be still needing further clarity on the concepts that we teach, God, we just ask for perfect clarity in our minds. And for any of us that need to see, feel, hear, or know that you are in our lives, God, please show us. And Lord, it is with humble hearts and in your heavenly name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Let's go. Woo! I'm so excited. Come on, Benson.
I want to see some thumbs up. I want to see some yeses.
Yeah, give us some hearts. Give us some thumbs up. Let's go. Come on.
Woo! All right.
I'm pumped.
In here. I'm pumped. I'm so pumped, guys. There he is.
Hey, Benson.
Hey, guys.
How are you?
What is up? What's going on? I'm so excited to be here. This is amazing. Brittany, I didn't even know your whole story. Like, I'm totally blown away. We just spent like a half hour on the call earlier, and we were just talking shop, and I had no idea your background. It's so impressive. I'm just so happy to be part of it.
Well, I'm so happy that you are part of it. I'm so happy and blessed to, man, guys, let me tell y'all this system. Okay, and I was telling Benson, I literally got onto Privy yesterday, and today it's so phenomenal. And you'll see, like, so here's the thing. Me and Benson were walking through. I was like, "Can I just take control of the thing?" And like, he was like, "Yeah, you kind of just got it." I'm like, "Yeah, y'all, it's so easy, and it's saving me so much time, and I'm so excited."
Because agent outreach has been MLS deals have been one of your main sources of deals, right, Britt?
Yes.
So is the limiting thought that buyers don't want to buy deals from the MLS, is that true or is that false?
That is so false, because the numbers work. As long as the numbers don't lie. That's why math was one of my favorite subjects. Numbers don't lie. It's not like English or literature where you can, no, numbers are what they are. And if a buyer says, "Oh, well, it's on the MLS." Yeah. Do the numbers work?
Right.
Well, yeah. Okay. Do you want it or no? I mean, it is what it is. So
amazing. Now, what's incredible, guys, is Brittany is in a non-disclosure state. So what's going to make today different from yesterday and the day before is the fact that we are going to be diving into a non-disclosure state. So you're going to see the power of Privy today and how it can tap into the MLS to provide not only possible deals, but comps, guys, true comps in non-disclosure states. So I'm going to let you guys take it away. Emily, would you like to move me to the background?
Awesome. Yeah, Brittany, it was fun earlier watching you navigate. I was like, what did I say? I want you to come work with me. You could teach this. I don't even have to do anything anymore. I can just sit back and chill. And you picked it up just like that. Did you even watch any of the onboarding videos or any of like the training, or did you just get it?
I did not watch any of the onboarding videos.
Amazing.
Yeah, I literally clicked it open. I mean, it's so simple. It's clean. Search, filter, click, done. And I mean, let me tell you, like, so my normal process is I have to go to realtor.com or Redfin. I have to filter out through there. I then have to go and click through each single property to look and see about it. Then I have to take the number, and then I have to go to another system and find comps. And then I have to calculate what I should, what should be it's like 50 different steps. And that's fine, if you want 50 different steps in your process, but time is money. And, the quicker we can go, the more offers we can get in there and make. Whereas going in here, I was like, oh my gosh, all I have to do is click this and it shows everything on one screen. I can see befores, and it's just, yeah, it was wonderful.
Well, I'm glad we found each other, Brittany.
I am too. I am too. Match made in heaven.
Well, cool. Well, do you want to share your screen with us? And
so guys,
just let me know how I can support you.
Benson gave me the reins today. Like he unleashed, and I'm really, really excited that he's doing so. So can everyone see my screen? Give me a thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
All good. Awesome. So we shouldn't see any like, oh, I can't see your screen. Refresh and do whatever. But yeah. So as Jamil said, as Benson said, I am covering Texas today, which is a non-disclosure state. If any of you know, non-disclosure states are fun. Tell me in the chat over here, thumbs up. Has anyone ever made an offer on a property because you had to use a number where you guessed in a non-disclosure state, and the offer was just like, either the agent was like, no, thank you. Or have you ever locked up a property in a non-disclosure state and then try to sell it to a buyer, and the buyer is like, no, that house did not sell. That's not the right ARV. Like, has anybody had to deal with that? And then you realize, oh, the house actually sold for $30,000 less than what, I found in, PropStream, which is no longer available, or any other system. Happens every day. Yeah, someone said happens every day. Well, like the fact that I can now go in here and see what actually sold in the MLS at the actual price, I mean, it's gold. And again, I'm virtual. I live in California. So I don't have, I'm not in Dallas, Texas, obviously. But with this, I can see everything I need to see. I have systems in place, make the offer, make the connections, build the relationships, boom, bam, done. All right, so let's get started. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to show you guys from start. We're just going to bring this whole thing full circle, right? So what you're seeing now is Dallas, Texas. So this is one of my primary markets. When I first started, I began in a market in Texas that I knew like the back of my hand because I lived there for 17 years, College Station. And it's a college town, so I had success there. But then I was like, gosh, I need a bigger market. Now, Dallas is a really big market. Houston, Dallas, Austin, whatever. I chose Dallas because number one, the size, the opportunity, but also, here's the thing, people out there who are asking, well, how do I choose a market? What should I choose? And how do I know if I'm going virtual? Try to choose a market where you feel that you could also build a team or get boots on the ground. And you can do that in any way, whatever. You can go to hire someone that can be your boots on the ground, pay someone $20 like to go walk a property. Dallas, though, my brother-in-law lives in Plano, and he's I was like, hey, can you go and walk this property? He can do it. Or if you're an Astro student, guess how many Astro students are like literally freaking across the country? Like you partner with another Astro student and they will, do the, they're in that city while you're in another city. So let's get to it. All right, so up here in the search, guys, I've already typed in here Dallas, Texas. When I turn on my filter, I'm going to include surrounding areas. This is pretty standard, single family detached. Now, in Dallas and in Texas, I usually try to stay around 70% ARV. Astro students, as you guys know, we have the, why can't I get that to slide right at 70? There we go. We have the ARV spreadsheet. Emily, I don't know if that's available to everyone, but I know because we're in, it's not high, you got to be an Astro student. Sign up for Astro, sorry guys. But you get the full Excel spreadsheet of the percent ARV in every market, because every market's different. It's not going to be 70% in Timbuktu. Like it's going to be, some markets it's 50%. Some markets it's California, you can go up to 85%. But in Dallas, Texas, I know I can get a deal. I can lock up a deal at about 70%. Sometimes I can go down to 65%. And I like to look at deals that have been on the market at least 30 days. Now, there's a question about that. Some people trying to lock them up right when they first hit, within the first 3 days, or if they've been on the market for a while. My method, and this is just me, I don't know if you guys want to take it or leave it, I like to have them days on the market at least 30 days. Let's say 20 days. Because I think literally like now, because of the market we're in now, 20 days is safe. And why do I do that? I know if a house has been on the market this day and age for 20 days and it hasn't sold, then there's something wrong. There's something that's not right. And there's something wrong and there's something not right, then I want to find out what that problem is. It's usually foundation, or it's usually they have to have a cash offer, or it's just listed too high. There's something not right. And that's where I can dig into those agents and figure out, agents will tell you everything that's wrong with their property. Because if it's been on the market for 20 to 30 days, guess what's happening to their reputation? Well, I can't sell a house. Oh, the seller, and they'll blame the seller. Oh, the seller just doesn't understand. They will tell you everything. So if I say it's been on the market, for at least 20 days, I will call them and, hey, why has it been sitting here? Yada, yada, yada. Because at that point they can't say, well, we have 50 offers in. Really? It's been 20 days. Why you accepted it? So yes, that's my minimum days on market that I'll try to go after. And then you just simply click run search. How am I so far, Benson?
Looking good. Looking good. I saw you had the investor activity up there first, so you could see where the hot areas were.
Yeah. Oh.
Did you zoom out?
Did I zoom out?
So you're looking for active deals now, right?
Yes, I'm looking for active deals now. And so you have
Cool.
Dallas include investor activity.
You have it on sold.
Sold.
So you're looking for active, right?
Yes.
So you want to switch to the active filter and then the status. There you go.
There we go.
The other thing I noticed there is that the filter said there's a sort option where you can sort by days on market, or you can sort by other things. I think you had sold date chosen. So if you go to the upper right, there you go.
You can sort by days on market. And I usually like to put the most days on the market up top first. That way I can see, the ones that have been up there the longest. All right. So see all of that. This tells me that, Dallas is a hot market. It just is. So these are the deals that are active right now, right? And if I click this button here, it's going to tell me what's a deal, right, Benson?
If you click which button, I'm sorry?
The deals button.
Yeah, so these are additional filters, right? So if you go to the left, those are the matches. If you scroll down, I think I saw that green one.
Yep, I like that green one. But so here, let me sort my results. And it's going to show me the one that has been on the market the longest at the top. So it's been on the market for this one's 323 days. That's almost a freaking year. This one for 248 days. View-wise, I actually like this split view because I can see where it is on the map. See, as I hover over it, it tells me where it is in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
So this one here, something about that one, because the price has dropped. They did a price drop, which tells me, okay, maybe they're really anxious to sell right now, right? So if I click on this, look, it's calling for builders, developers, investors. This one here, they actually, it sounds like they're trying to sell it based on the lot. So I would, guys, pay attention to stuff like that, just because it tells you what they're going after. Now, if I see that they're trying to sell it for the lot value, they're asking $450,000, right? I can click on this comps, and I can see everything that's sold in that area. Now, Benson, explain, like, why would this one not have any blues here?
It depends on how you searched for them. So I don't remember what the search criteria were. So you got this for 450.
Mm-hmm.
And then those there are the comparables. So if it identified that search or that property using your search criteria, then it would show the comps that support that percentage of ARV. I'm not sure why that one doesn't have it. It could be something with the filter. So let's look at so it's for sale for 450.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got comps there that range. There's a couple fix and flips. There's that one at 590 that could help you on the value. Yeah, I mean, this one could be a great deal. I don't know why the blue's not there, though. It could be something with your filter.
Okay. So let's call this agent and find out what's going on with it. All right. So this agent, the listing agent is Alicia Torres, or Martha Torres. Her email is alicia.torres. That's interesting.
So Brittany, you like to work with the listing agent then, or is it on a case-by-case situation? Your own agent or the listing agent?
I love working with the listing agent because the listing agent is more likely to be, they can tell me about this house. They can tell me exactly what's going on. They can tell me about the seller. They can tell me why the seller is selling. They can tell me why the house hasn't sold yet. Whereas if I'm working with another agent, so if someone brings me a deal, remember, time is money. So if someone brings me a deal, they're like, oh, I found this house, it's on the market, and they're not the listing agent, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to have to tell them, hey, can you contact the agent to find out what's going on? So they're going to go contact the agent, find out what's going on. Then they're going to come back to me and tell me. And then if I have another question, okay, let me find out. And then they have to come back. You know, there's hours, there's days in between that. Whereas I want to lock this up. I want to know exactly what's going on, and I want to call the agent. So it looks like this is the direct phone number. So Benson, what's the difference between the co-list agent and the list agent that Privy shows?
Sometimes there's multiple agents on a listing. So like there might be like a primary agent who's like the big dog of the office, and that person doesn't want their phone ringing off the hook. So they'll have a co-lister who's maybe like an assistant or another agent who is newer, who can take incoming calls for leads. So that's kind of a common thing.
Okay. All right. So let's give them a call. Mind you guys, this is a Sunday, so we'll see which agents are really working. Let's see, Sunday at, was it 11:50 in Texas? So
it's 11:50. They're central.
Some of them might be in church. Hopefully their phones aren't ringing in church.
That would not be good. It's their fault though if their ringer's not off.
Right. Let me get really close in here, guys. I hope a voicemail picks up so I can hear which name this goes to.
Keller Williams and the District Realty Group. Not available to take your.
All right, that's Ben. So I'm going to text Ben now.
I like how you all do the text thing like immediately. I hadn't seen that before. It seems like a pretty powerful thing, and it lets them know you're serious.
Absolutely. So, hey, Ben, I was giving you a call about, was at 1001 Grandview. Can you call me back?
Is that something that Jamil teaches as part of the training, that's the follow-up? Because you guys are all doing it fairly consistently.
Yeah, I mean, so I think, and I don't know, one of the cool things that Astra does is a mastermind. So you have the course, but then there's the mastermind. And I don't want to spill too much. Sorry, Jamil, if this is spilling the beans on mastermind. One of the cool things that you get to go and see is like how Keeley actually fully operates. And it is one of those, this is one of those techniques that's shown, and they show exactly how to do it. It's beyond this. It's beyond just the call and texting, but there's steps, there's systems, there's a process. You go boom, boom, boom. And this was actually shown at the mastermind, and it works because most people don't answer phone calls that they don't know, or if it's the weekend or a Sunday, they don't want to just pick up every single call. So now that I'm texting, he knows, hey, this is someone who's actual interested in buying this house that's been sitting on the market for 50 billion days. So,
yeah, it's sometimes because there's everybody's got a system, right? There's all of these people out there teaching real estate, and people are like wondering, well, it's all the same, right? It's not. It's like these subtleties, like these little things can make a huge difference between you getting a deal and not getting a deal.
exactly.
There's so many people out there that are wondering, well, I did that and it's not working, and they quit. And it's because they're not doing these small things that you are, and Jamil teaches, and what Astro Flipping teaches is there's these subtleties in the approach that makes one process way better than another one.
Exactly. I mean, and they matter. They really, you'd be surprised, like what you see and what you find, and the things that it's small things. It's the small things, what you think is mundane. If I compare it in the gym, like I can go all out 100% in one workout for 20 minutes, but it's the small things that I do, what we call accessory pieces, that help build up to the big thing that, and getting, a PR lift. Sorry, I'll use a lot of gym analogies, guys.
Gym lingo.
All right, so here we actually see some blues over here, but so this property is on Bodega Boulevard, right? Mm-hmm. And they are asking $199,000 for it. Again, I love.
So this one looks like it's coming from the public record database, which would mean like it was listed in from another MLS.
Yes. So talk to us about that, Benson.
Yeah. So there's multiple different kinds of data in Privy, right? So there's what you see out there, and with a bunch of the other platforms, is they pull in that third-party listing data, and it's okay in a pinch, right? Because you want to run comps, you want to search for deals. However, it's not as up to date as that direct to MLS data like we have in multiple markets. So in some areas, you'll see listings that show up that maybe are not directly from MLS. So I've seen some stuff pop up where it was like for sale by owners, or there was something that was different about the listing. Like they listed it as like I saw one that was a land deal. Right. And that land deal information wasn't coming in because it wasn't coming directly from MLS. It was from that third-party listing data. So if you're in one of these areas, and I would suggest you do take some advances and target these high investor activity areas where have this MLS data, because then the data is the most up to date, most accurate. Yeah. And then like I've been telling people, we're growing like wildfire. So we're going to start just getting more and more MLS data feeds. We've got like these rich photos and good descriptions and the contact information for the agents. So it makes a big difference there. So that's the main thing.
I want to show people this really quick, because one of the things that, I think, especially now, a lot of new folks, don't waste your time, because and this is why I love Privy. You see a house like this, and yeah, it's been on the market for 205 days. Now people that tell you, well, it's been on the market for 205 days, blah, blah, blah. Look at this house. Now, you tell me in the chat, is this a good deal? I want to see some answers. Is this a good deal? Would you make an offer on this deal? Yes or no?
Hell no.
Thank you. They're like, but people will come back and they're like, but it's been on the market for 300 days. Okay, let's give a scenario. You lock this up. Awesome. It's been on the market for 300 or 200 something days. Who are you going to sell it to? No, like nobody's going to buy it from you. That's the thing. You can lock up a deal all day. That's fine. Get a deal under contract. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Why, why do you think this is not a deal? What indicators are there showing you that this doesn't make sense for us as a wholesale deal?
New laminate flooring, brand new cabinets. Look at the countertops. I would move into this house. Like
the value has been extracted already. The value has already been extracted.
Yes. And I guarantee you, if you try to call and make an offer on this house, the seller's going to say, well, I've already fixed it up, so it's worth what I'm selling it for, blah, blah, blah. That's why they've had it on the market since November, and it still hasn't sold because they're not wanting to go below what below what they're asking, because they feel that, well, I've already put all the value in it. Well, I think they just did their ARV wrong, and they have to make money back at this point. Create a finance option. There you go. Somebody said that. So, hey, if that's
Brittany, can we look at the comps on that? I want to show everybody why this was flagged, because our system doesn't know if a house is renovated or not renovated. All we do is we look at the similar houses in the area, and then we say, okay, if there's margins between the list price of the home and the price of the comps that match what you set, then we'll flag it as something to look at. However, you being experienced, you can look at something quickly and say, oh yeah, that's not a deal, move on. The reason why that was flagged is because, there are comparables there, see at 480, 401, 412, that are below that 70, percent issue or level. So that's why that one was flagged. So then once you get there, then look at the comps and say, okay, well, this one isn't a deal because of X, Y, Z, nothing I can do with it. But look at that. There's data here of similar houses that have sold in the area over 400K, right? So then we're wondering, well, what's wrong with this house? Maybe the foundation's crumbling, or there's some other weird thing about it that we don't know about. However, the numbers are there, right?
Yeah. There has to be something wrong, because the data does support. And look, you're even within the distance. The data does support that this should reach an ARV of 400. Yeah. So Jamil, what would you say about something like that?
Well, I think this is one of those great examples, and thanks for bringing it up, Benson, and thanks for bringing this one out, Brittany, as well. This could be one of those circumstances where the remodel is just so poorly done. Because, look at it, guys. It go back to the pictures if you would. Okay, so again, for those of you that follow us or know that this is what Pace, myself, Rahima, and Laura do, we fix and flip houses and we renovate for a living as well. It's not a terrible remodel, but if you look at the functionality of the kitchen, go back to the kitchen, you've got an oven which is basically being hugged by a wall. It's not being flanked by any other cabinetry. They didn't put their fridge in, which in my opinion, again, you always need. There's some step downs in there that they didn't fill. But overall, it's not a terrible remodel. So if this was me, now I know that there might be some value here. This would be a deal that I would absolutely hit the agent up and see if they'd be interested in a creative solution. Because I think you could get this deal locked up under value and possibly get this turned into seller finance or an owner finance deal and cash flow this, and you could hit a home run out of that.
Let's call this agent.
Awesome. Let's do it.
All right. Where am I finding their agent info at? Am I passing it up?
Yeah, it's toward the top there. Keep going up a pad right there.
All right. So I have the listing off. Let me see what their direct work phone. Let's find out why. This is Mina.
Anything? I don't hear any sound. Is it ringing on your end, or do you have it on speaker?
No, it's actually not ringing. 972-584-1279.
So you guys, if you're going through this process and you're finding these things, you're calling on people, make sure you save these. So at the top, there's a little task bar there that says favorite, add to list. So you can save these away to a folder so you know which ones you're working on. And as you're calling on them and you're skipping through to the next ones, you won't lose the ones that you like. And so you can put these in and organize them in a manner that will allow you to go back. And so you're not letting those leads slip through the cracks.
Yeah. This is weird. Her phone is not ringing at all.
Somebody else noticed there that the listing agent and the owner of the property appear to be the same person. This could be a ghost listing, but one of those things where an agent's just trying to gather leads or have potential buyers call. This is an interesting one. Brittany, when you comp this, what do you think the ARV is?
I'm trying to pull up the agent's other phone number. It was a bad number. So when I comp this one?
Yes.
So, I mean, that's the beauty of, Privy. So let's see, this is a 2-2, 1,300 square feet. If I look here and I see that, we're looking at, so this home here would be closest. But you're looking at it as a 3.
That lot sizes, you have to exclude that because of that lot size.
Oh yeah, that lot size, you're right. So let's see. So we're looking here. And again, when you're comping, guys, so when you're making an offer, I wouldn't look at these two because these are homes that sold, correct?
They're all sold. Yeah, the status on the right or left where it says red, it's type. Yep. Those are sold.
So if I'm looking here, and I look at these, but I see that these have sold for more. When I make an offer, I'm going to go for the higher one because I don't want to lowball. That's why people are like, well, I can't get a deal because, because you're lowballing. And we don't want to do that. So the closest one that I could see, you're looking at the lot size here. You're looking at the square footage. So it's about 1,300 square feet. So I can go with one of these two, but I think
Brunner
go with
Brunner is your realist comp, yeah.
And now look, also you're going to 2-car garage, 2-bed, 2 bath. So I may have to make a little bit of an adjustment here, guys, because this is a 3-1.
So ours is a 2-2. That's a 3-1. So let's make the adjustments.
Sorry, go ahead.
The dollar per square foot on this one is what? That sold for $401K?
Yes.
All right, so 401,000. How many square feet?
This one is 1,346.
1,346. That's $297 a foot. Okay. Multiply that by our 1,298. That gets us to 386. But then are we missing a garage?
No, this is a 2 garage.
We have a 2-car garage?
Yep.
Okay, we are missing 1 bed.
We're missing 1 bed and 1 bath. Take that back. No, we're missing 1 bed. We have an additional bath.
Okay, so that's a wash. So then I think that gets us to about a 385 ARV.
I would say 390. So yeah. So when you go in and make an offer, guys. Pull out my
so what's your calculation on that, Brittany?
So
what would you do?
390, so again, this is my method. I'm going to take and go in. My first offer is going to be at 65% of that ARV of 390. or 385. You said 385, right, Jamil? I think I
Yes.
had 390. So that's my first offer. I always have to. Here's the thing: seller's going to come back and they're going to try to negotiate. They're going to try to come back with a little bit more. So I'll go in at probably about 250. And if the agent's like, "Oh, that's too low," I know that I now have some wiggle room. And look, it's listed at 288. If I go in at 350, that makes me comfortable because it is listed. And I was telling Benson this earlier. People have a question, and I'm going to break this down really quick. So there's always this question of like, okay, well, if it's listed at 288, can I just offer, no, they'll say, can I offer 275? Okay, make your offer at 275. But remember, if you're wholesaling this, you have to mark it up. So if you now mark it up to say you want to make 10,000, you're marking up to 285. Well, now you're close to the list price. And that makes it a really sticky situation of being able to sell this and being able to find a buyer, because a buyer can go in. Some buyers don't care. It depends who your buyers are. But some buyers will go in and say, well, it's listed at this price. And this is a tight deal to where they're probably going to want it closer to that 250. So I would go make my offer at 250. And I know my maximum allowable offer coming from that 385 number is going to be, I'm probably going to be somewhere around 265. 260, 265 would be my maximum allowable.
Are you using 70%?
Using 70%, and it's giving a little bit of cushion for what I want my wholesale fee to be.
Okay. Yeah, that's a 5% swing there that you can adjust up if you need to.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so that was an interesting one. And you know what's interesting? I was going to go there and show everybody why this thing wasn't a deal, and it looks like it actually might be. However, sometimes you guys, those comps are like located on like a river, or they're on the other side of a major road, and so just pay attention to some of like your standard comping practices, and that sometimes will allow you to realize, okay, this one isn't a deal because of XYZ. However, what we're doing is we're eliminating 95% of every property that has no supporting data to say it's a deal, and then you'll come up with ones that maybe are what we call like a false positive, and then you can quickly eliminate those and move on to the good ones. In this case, though, the data was there that there's something else going on with this house.
I think so too, Benson. I think there's something weird about the listing. I think it could have been some way like a lead magnet for the agent, or quite possibly maybe it's an old listing that's still showing active that should be marked as closed. Something is going on there, but actually no, because it just been reduced. When did it get reduced? No, it got reduced 5K in November. There's something weird going on there, Brittany, for sure.
Yeah. So here's one thing, guys. So as you guys saw, I called both of these numbers. And again, systems are systems. Nothing's perfect. So if you call these numbers and they don't work, don't stop.
Yeah, move
Literally,
on.
all you can do is Google the name. It pulls it up. Now, this is a completely different number for this person. It took me 2 seconds to do that. Now, let me see if this is a number that works for her. Oh, nope, it doesn't. All right. Well, I guess we're going to move on.
Yeah, I just Googled the address too, and it's active on realtor.com. So there's something weird going on here. It would be something you'd want to follow up with at another point.
I'm going to mark this as a favorite, and I'm going to follow up with it. All right.
I agree. It's not a privy thing. This is an MLS thing, so it's still active. Keep following up on that one, Brittany, and give us all an update. And just real quick to update you guys on Michelle and Paul's work yesterday. I just got a message from Michelle. Paul got an offer accepted from the deal he found on Privy yesterday, and Michelle was just countered. So we are at 2 for 2. Ryan Zolan got his deal done, and Paul got his offer accepted, and he's moving to sell that today. So amazing. Awesome. And real quickly before we move in, I'm going to shut up. For anybody who signs up for Privy today, I'm having a special offer. I am going to choose one person who signed up one person who signed up either Friday, Saturday, or today. So I'm not going to penalize you if you signed up yesterday or on Friday. But whoever whoever, I'm going to choose one person who signs up, and I'm going to pay for your membership for the entire year. So I'm actually going to, I'm going to override and tell Benson that I'm going to pay. So I'm going to choose one person, and there's not that many of you. It's like, this is a great lottery. The chances of winning around, $97 a month are pretty high. So go in.
Wow.
And I'm going to pay for it for one person. You know what? Forget that. 2 people. 2 people. 2 people.
Wow.
I'm going to buy it for 2 people. I'm going to pay for the entire year. Yeah, so that's just what's up.
Guys.
Wow.
Sign up.
Okay.
Is that link in there?
Happy
Let's
birthday,
get
everybody.
there. Guys. Oh my gosh. This is why I love Jamil. Like, he's like the most selfless person in the world. Like, oh my gosh. Like, y'all have no
Amazing.
excuse now. Like, there's no excuse. None whatsoever. Wow.
Wow. Thank you so much, Jamil. You guys, this is
Woo.
amazing.
All right, guys. So sorry, I'm still moving. I'm just trying to find a whole bunch of deals in here.
This
Vincent's
one's
right.
interesting.
This one's really interesting. So you see, it looks like they started a flip, and now they're calling all investors. Maybe someone ran out of money. They're asking for cash only, which is a good thing. I love that. And if I go and look at the comps, so this one, Vincent, we were talking about this earlier. So when you have a buy price and another price highlight, this means this one was a flip, right? This is a comp that was actually a flip. And I think this would be my comp if I look at the square footage, the lot size, and I look at the bed and bath. So I would account for mine. My property has an extra bedroom. So I would bring it up a little bit to.
That's a good thing to point out to you guys is when you're making your adjustments on your comps, you're not always just subtracting from your ARV to make it like yours. Sometimes you're adding. So if you've got another bedroom or a bathroom, you're adding value on top of it. So potentially the ARV for your house, if this is the true ARV, it'd be in the 315, 320 range because of that additional bedroom.
Yeah.
Now tell me, Brittany, what would you do in this scenario? See that neighborhood, it's in that little sliver there between those 2 major roads. Like in your experience, do you have to stay right there or can you cross over because of that weird scenario with the highways?
No, in my experience, I actually don't, not even try. I don't cross over those major highways, period.
Even in this little sliver here, like
we can't hear you, you're muted.
I think you need to stay right in that pocket because
Right
that pocket is in between noisy and noisier. And so crossing over anywhere else would be irresponsible because I have to compare between, I can only get my value for looking at a house that is in that hellhole of a noise bracket.
And that will
so
be
Brittany,
a problem.
You can sort by distance there. If you sort by distance by clicking the distance column, it'll show you the closest ones there at the top.
Yeah.
And both of those are active comps. They haven't sold yet.
Yeah. So if I only want to see the solds, I'm looking here.
Yep. Or if on the investor comp section, you can look on the left and just see the color. So you know that those 2 red ones are sold and they both support the percentage of ARV. However, those, if you click like the one on Marburg, it'll show you on the map where it's at. If you go back, just like click like the line and it'll pull out there so you can see where it is on the map. So it is on the east side of that highway there. If you show the map a little bit higher.
Is that this one here?
Yep. Yeah. So
so I wouldn't use that. I would not use that as a comp. I'm only going to stay right here. So my comp, I mean, again, this one literally is on the same street. That's my comp, and I adjust for the fact that it's mine is a 4-bed. Now, like, so as we mentioned earlier, again, guys, this is something that what I found I'm really loving with Privy. When you see a comp that has 2 numbers in the same row, if you click on the information, Oh, I don't know if this one will show the before and after. Oh yeah, so I can see exactly what they did to this house. Unfortunately, I don't have too many interior photos, but I can see. Oh, it actually was a flip. They put paint on the exterior, took down all the jail bars. Makes me
Well,
wonder
what's
about the
cool about it
neighborhood.
too, that was an on-market deal, Brittany. They got it from the MLS.
Yeah,
And you know that because it has an MLS number there on the before.
right.
So you can see here that you guys, these people are doing this. Like we're finding stuff live. We're
Yeah.
also showing you closed deals that people got from the MLS.
And look at
Right.
look at what they made on this. That tells you this here I'm highlighting. This tells you what this person made on this flip, right?
That's the gross amount. We don't
The
know the
gross amount.
net
Yeah,
because we don't know
but
what they spent on the cost and realtor fees and all that.
that's
But
still, I mean, look at that. That's a triple digit flip.
it is a triple digit flip.
Woo!
Well, and then you were finding deals based off of percentage of ARV, right? And you were going in at
Right.
70, but
Yep.
they got it at 33.
Yeah.
So they're way
So
lower than even what your buying criteria is, which is amazing.
exactly. So I'm going to call this agent. Again, let's see if we can get an agent to pick up on a Sunday afternoon.
Oh, that's JPAR. I know those guys.
Oh, do you?
Isn't this funny, guys? Look at this. We're doing the business live. It just what we've been able to accomplish in these 2-hour time periods is amazing.
Yeah. People don't work on Sundays, guys.
I mean, especially agents. Come on, you should have your phone on.
Jasmine Walker with JP and Associates.
I'm going to text Jacqueline. Actually, you know what? Say for the sake of time, I'm going to favorite it. That's one quick thing. I'm going to favorite it, and now I know these things that I'm favoring. I'm going back and following up with these folks. Mail Avenue. Ooh, they have.
That's weird.
Why did that pop up that way?
They had it on there to show you kind of where the lot was in respect to others. Don't have great photos on that one. Oh, it said it's been zoned for something else, so that it may be an opportunity for a tear down.
For a tear down in a lot.
And then do multifamily.
Yeah.
Did you see that in the description?
I did. I did.
Yeah, you guys. So pay attention when you're building your buyers list. Get a good sense of what they're willing to do, because if you have somebody on your buyers list that is, will do like a full tear down and do new construction, like then you know like who to send that property to instead of just sending it out blindly to everybody.
All right, so I'm just calling folks.
Yep. The other thing on that last one that's important to note is that your comping criteria on that one would be completely different if it was going to be a tear down. So then you wouldn't look at normal comparables on that house because the square footage and everything else is going to change. You would be looking at the new construction comps that are in that area to determine the value on the back end, the after repair value.
Your call cannot be completed.
Well, that one's a no-go.
So in the real world, right? Okay, so Brittany, this brings me to the next point, which is if the listing agent isn't picking up, this might be a scenario where you want to actually just send these to your agent,
yes,
and have them submit the offer, right?
Exactly. That's exactly what I would be doing right now. Like I would tell my agent, and again, guys, once I get my agent on the phone, I would tell my agent, hey, I'm interested in this property. Can you dig into it for me and make an offer for me? That's exactly what I would do. I'm glad you pointed that out, Benson. I'm scrolling through all of these. As you guys see, these have been fixed up. I don't want those. Remember, I do not want those fixed. Those have been fixed up. This one I can actually tell it probably has already been fixed. Look at the door. Like the door outside tells me.
Oh yeah, that's a nice door.
Yeah. So I don't even have to go into that one.
So do you know how to set up the saved search, Brittany? We might want to show them that real quickly so that if you guys are going through and you save a search and you're getting to the point where you've gone through some of the good ones and now you just want to get alerts, you can just save the search and then the system will email you whenever something else is found that might make sense number wise. And then, while you're at your 9 to 5 or while you're doing, taking the kids to parkour practice, then they'll send you some properties you can take a look at a later time.
Yeah.
Parkour.
Ha!
Yeah. We've all got kids in parkour practice, right? It's pretty common these days.
Yeah. My son's vision.
Brittany does parkour, guys. She actually does parkour.
No. I didn't know, Benson. I didn't realize that you guys. I was taking my son to parkour. I didn't know you guys were thinking I do CrossFit.
Okay, I thought you were like doing CrossFit and parkour. I'm like, what the hell, man?
No, I could, but he wants his space. So his dream.
You don't want to show him up.
I know. I actually showed my 15-year-old and lifting, so he's trying to catch me in my deadlift and my squat. I was like, I'm almost 40, dude. You should be catching me at 15, 16. All right, I'm gonna call this deal here. So looking through, look at that. Like, holy crap. It's like they start remodeling it
DIY project. They're like, let's paint the cabinets.
And they just failed miserably. And you look at what is that, the washer? Where's the dryer? It's just stuck in the corner. So guys, I would call this, there's something like, seller has to find a rental home. I love these notes that are in here. Before they can execute a contract, sellers need a free 2-week lease back. Okay, that's something to keep in mind once you go to find your buyer. Mm-hmm. Now, what I would do in this situation, I would make an offer that I know, because that's going to be an issue for the buyer. So if I can help get this deal sold by telling the buyer, hey, I'll pay you for that 2 weeks, and I have enough spread to do so in my assignment fee, I would do that to make this deal happen. What's 2 weeks if you prorate it? It gets the deal done, it gets the deal closed, right, guys? Mm-hmm. So, obviously needs TLC.
You're calling on that one. Oh yeah, these property here where people think they can do their own remodels and they go in and they just make it worse.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling, this Jared.
Hey, Jared, this is Brittany. I'm sorry. This is Brittany Berryman. Do you have my phone number saved?
No, but I think once it's in an email or something, then it tells me.
That's awesome. So I guess we've spoken. Hey, I'm sorry to bother you on a Sunday though. This is my quote unquote free day. But so you have a house listed on Costa Mesa, and I was looking at it. What's going on with that?
Oh, you an agent or you a buyer?
I'm a buyer. Oh yeah, I'm a buyer.
Yeah. So our sellers, they kind of have an odd schedule. One works days, one works nights. So we've only been able to we've been looking for a house for them to rent. They have a bunch of big trucks, so not everyone allow that. So we've been taking a while to do that, and then somebody came down with COVID and so forth. So right now we have I don't know, like 15 offers, something like that. And the seller just put apps in on a house that they're going to hopefully get approved for.
Okay.
And then so we're going to probably they're going to probably make a decision pretty quick. So.
Okay. So they have apps in because they have to, I think I saw in the notes, like they have to find a rental.
Yeah. So they put in an application, and this company that they put it in with they're pretty easy to work with. So I think we're probably going to get them approved for that.
Okay. And you said, and you have about 15 offers in. Okay.
Yeah, there's one above asking. The rest of them are kind of like close to asking price.
Okay.
And they're just, trying to sell and get as much as they can. But we're going to help them buy a house, in the future that's bigger
Yeah, for sure.
So this one needs work. It's there are some, what do you call them? Planks missing in the kitchen and the floor. Its original house was like 3-bedroom, 1 bath. The bath is small, hasn't been updated. And then they didn't, but somebody converted the garage to a bedroom. And there's kind of a laundry area right there. The washing machine actually in those old houses, that's in the kitchen.
I saw that.
There's a place for a dryer in this little step down area as you go into the garage.
Gotcha.
The other room.
Gotcha.
So you might be able to put a second bathroom into that area. There is a closet you could probably steal.
Okay.
And the room is pretty big. The one, it's 10 by 20. So.
Right. And so I noticed, so do they need that lease back? I think it said they were looking for like a 2-week free lease back.
But, so if they find a place, and we just kind of put that in there because they might need it depending on the overlap with closing and then them moving. So most places are going to want them to probably move in about 2 or 3 weeks anyway. So they may not need an overlap with that. We're going to see. But they may want to close and have a couple of days to move. And it may not take even 2 weeks, so.
Okay. So I know with 15 offers and I have to be pretty competitive and, it is what it is. But like I see they have a lot of stuff in the house. Are they leaving all of that or are they taking all of that? Would it help if they're taking it?
That's all their stuff.
Okay. And what can you tell me about it? Is it as far as the stability, roof, foundation, all that good stuff?
Yeah. So they haven't replaced the roof, and they've been there 18 years. So I'm almost pretty sure it's going to have to be replaced.
Okay.
The outside unit on AC was replaced about 2 years ago, is what they said. I'm not. I looked at the one on the inside. It looks older, but I don't know how they did that because normally you'd have to replace both units back then. So I'm not sure what they did 2 years ago. And then the water heater is old. It's probably at least 10 years old. But everything mechanically is working. Well, it works. They just, most of that stuff's probably older.
Okay. And they converted the garage, it looks like, into a bedroom?
I think I'm not sure if they did that or it may have been that way. But yeah, they basically made it a bedroom. Because they've got mom and dad and then son and his family and extra kids that come over and all that stuff. So.
Gotcha. So okay. And I don't know what the other offers are. I know you said one is off, above asking. Are any, I don't know if you can tell me this, are any of them cash offers?
Not above. The one above asking is actually a finance. So I'll have to go through and see what they want to do. The other ones are cash that are below the list price. So.
Okay. I want to send you a cash offer. So I know, so here's what I know exactly, I have some pretty big audacious goals this year. And I have like a literal, everything that I'm doing, I have like a system, so that I can close really fast where I'm using all the same paint, all the same this, all the same that.
Yeah.
And just to make, just because it has to be done fast. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So I know what my budgets are going in for reno. So, whether I have someone walk it through or not, whatever. I mean, I don't need a 7 or 10 day option period, maybe just, 3 days just so I can make sure the house is standing. I've been in a situation where half a house is burned and it's wait, hold on, what? Yeah, for sure.
No, I understand.
So I'm going to send you an offer on this. And when are they making a decision? When do you want, do you have a cutoff date?
I would assume this week or at least by next weekend at the latest, because if they get approved for the rental house, like I said, most of the time they're going to make a move in about 2 to 3 weeks with rental properties. So I would assume they're probably going to make a decision at that point. And then be able to close and move from this one to that one. And then, I don't think they'll need 2 weeks lease back at this point. So
that's super helpful.
I mean, if you put it in there, they'll as soon as they're out, of course, somebody take over stuff.
Okay. If I send a cash offer that they will be happy with, do we have to wait until the end of the week?
Do you still have it till the end of the week?
Like what they just accepted. I know you said you're trying to wait until, you're giving till the end of the week to get all the offers in. If I give a cash offer that they're happy with.
Not necessarily getting more offers in.
Okay.
Just for them to make the decision.
Okay.
Because the son's kind of the one, helping out, and I've got a spreadsheet, so I got to go through and kind of give him an idea of, hey, this is, here's the plus and the good things and the bad things about this each offer, right? See what they want to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, I'm a buyer, and I do this all the time. So I don't have an agent. I don't know if that helps them, or they don't have like another commission to pay. So I mean, I'll send an offer. I think they'll be happy with it. It'll be a cash offer, and they won't have a commission. So trying to save them as much as they can, just because I know, like I said, I know exactly what my numbers need to be, and and looking at it, I think we can make it work.
Okay, yeah, I'll definitely. I'm finishing up the spreadsheet and going back just to verify, because some of them we've had them for a month, so some of them, may not want to proceed. So there may end up with less than 10 offers or something like that. Depends on the situations.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll get it to them right away so they can make it. I know if they get approved, they're gonna have to make a decision.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we should. I'm pretty positive we'll be able to make a decision this week.
Awesome. And I'll write it up for you.
Okay.
And so apparently I'm in your phone. So you have a lot of properties that I'm looking at.
Must be, yeah, exactly.
So do you have some more?
Stuff. So, and I do run a small newbie real estate investor group. So we do come across stuff every now and then. And then just from referrals, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I can send you whatever I get. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I'll shoot you an email. And then like, if you have anything like that's similar to this, like I said, I have a goal of what I'm trying to flip per month in DFW, especially like in this part of Dallas. We have a lot of stuff going on. So if you have anything else like it, like shoot it my way, because
yeah, I've got one in Northwestern Hills, and that one again is one where they just need as much as possible, but it could work.
What's the address?
It's 7609 Northeast Noreast Drive. So we just got short sale approval. The woman is there. One of my agents, had been talking to her for a while, and so we gotta find a place for her to move to after she sells the house too. So she's just trying to get as much as possible so we can figure out a new living situation for her.
Awesome. Okay. I think I made those
numbers on that one, and then I'll let you know when I think we're gonna do it on March the 1st.
Okay.
6th, maybe March 6th, I think is where we're gonna have the open house. So.
Okay. Is it listed? Can I pull it up?
It's an off market.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Since we did a short sale.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna pull that one up, run my numbers on it too.
Okay.
Awesome.
And it's got a pool. The
Okay.
pool's not been used for a while. It's pretty much empty. And then the house, they had some bed bugs, so somebody came and helped them and pulled out carpet. But it's the 3-1, and it's just, as I said, not been taken well care of, and so probably just needs to be. And now that one's garage is converted too, so it's probably closer to 1,300 square feet on that one.
Okay.
Like original house is probably,
What's the list price going to be?
Okay. Do you have the as far as like getting in there, like would they, or do you have pictures already?
I do have some pictures, so just remind me and I'll send you pictures on that. Yep.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome.
And you
All
got
right.
Jerry as my realtor at gmail.com?
I do.
Okay, yeah, that's it.
I do. Like I said, I had you in my system too. So.
Yeah, and anything else I got coming up, I'll let you know.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you so much, Jerry. It's good talking to you.
You too. Thanks, Brittany.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Oh,
Wow.
you guys want to keep cold calling? You want to keep cold calling because it's just so sexy. It's so fun. Oh my God, you brain damage. Look what you just did, Brittany.
Wow.
Let me get both of
Deals.
those. And one is off market.
The numbers on that Northeast one look good too. There's a bunch of activity in the area. I was looking at the comps while he was talking about it.
Awesome.
I mean, that one's solidly in the 250 area.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm giving.
Vincent, is there a code for Privy, or is it just the link that's in the that's pinned up here? There's no code, right?
There's no code. It's just the link.
Use the link that's pinned by Emily, guys. You have to use this link if you want to be entered into getting the free, one of the 2 people that's going to get the free year, you have to use the link that Emily just posted. Sorry to interrupt. Keep going.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Man, time has flown. I'm like, ah.
That was awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. No,
I think you and Jerry are going to be good friends.
I do. I didn't realize I was in his phone. He was like, Brittany Berry. Okay, I guess I've spoken to him before. I don't know.
Good.
So
Oh, cool. Were you going to bring your agent friend on that you've?
I am. Do you guys want me to try for another one, or let's
bring your friend on, because this was somebody that now has turned in from an agent outreach call, has turned into an entire relationship. So let's hear from Jonathan.
Yes, let me stop sharing my screen. Let's get Jonathan in here. Oh, there he is, JP.
How you doing, lady?
I'm good. I'm so good. Oh, we got your camera working as well. So
you need to thank Emily for that.
yes, Emily. I call him JP now. JP said you're amazing, Emily. He sent me a text. So y'all, this was like one of those, and I actually want you to meet Jamil. He's in there as well. This is one of those things where we were like, hey, let's bring this full circle, because there he is.
Great to meet you, JP.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. Same here.
So full circle being that my very first, well, it was June of, mind you guys, I told you I signed up for Astro, becoming a wholesaler in May. And 1 month, within the month, I had reached out to Jonathan because going through the course, one of the things they teach is, reaching out to agents, because I mean, you cast a big net, and it all comes in. Agents are already casting that big net, and so one of the things they teach is like, hey, work with agents. There's a stigma of wholesalers and agents working together, and that it doesn't work, and agents don't like wholesale, which rightfully so, because sometimes those deals fall through and your reputation is on the line, right, JP?
You could say that.
And when I reached out to him, I sent them a text. It was like, hey, Jonathan, do you I'm looking for a property. I don't think at the time he knew I was wholesaling it. No. Looking for a property, and do you have anything that that investor would like, something I could have? And it was actually fully tenant occupied. So, that's another thing. And mind you guys, everything that I was doing, it was going, like, literally going by the steps of what I learned. So Jonathan sent me a property. He was like, yeah, I have this one. And so I looked at it. I think within a day, I was like, okay, under contract. Let's put it under contract. Let's go. Right. And at the time, I didn't know that because again, it's all about relationships. And I'll tell you guys about Jonathan here in a second, because he is, when you talk about the definition of someone who has relationships, it's Jonathan. And so he brought me a deal where the seller was someone who he had a really close relationship with. I mean, I don't want to get
go as far as you want to. We're good. I'm good.
And this person is, has a huge impact on his life. So him bringing me this deal, he was putting his trust in me and faith in me that I'm going to close on this deal. And I think about a couple days into it, mind you guys, again, I was only a month in, so I'm looking for a buyer at this point. Jonathan still doesn't know I'm wholesaling it. I made this, remember the flyer that I made that was on Facebook? Yeah. I posted it on Facebook, guys. When I posted it on Facebook, I get an email from Jonathan. Hey, the seller saw this flyer. Guys, remember, I've marked it up at this point from the sale price that I was getting at. The seller saw it, or someone sent it to him. Jonathan gets it. He's like, hey, okay, what's going on? So at that point, I then have to, explain to Jonathan what I'm doing. And it's full transparency. And his only question to me was, will this close? And I'm like, yes, it's going to close. Are we good? Yes, we're good. Now, so he kept checking in with, are we? That's all he cared, because again, he's putting his trust that I'm going to close on this deal. That deal, if I give you the specific numbers on it, it was a fourplex that had it had, it's a couple, it's actually 5 units total. I locked it up at 295, I believe. And the buyer picked it up at 305, and we closed on it. And after that, yeah, we closed. It was a lot. It was a scary situation. There was some bumps. It was a roller coaster. And in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, if I ruin this, I ruined this relationship with Jonathan. I ruined my whole first deal, and he ruined his relationship. The buyer ended up having to use a conventional loan and not a cash buyer, which we initially thought. So here's the crazy thing about this, guys, because of the transparency, because of the honesty, because of the ethics behind it. Here's what happened with that deal. The buyer had to do a conventional loan. And this is why relationships and honesty is so important, y'all. When the buyer had to do a conventional loan, that conventional lender does not want to see an assignment. And if a conventional lender doesn't want to see an assignment, guess whose name has to be on the contract? The buyer. So at this point, the seller and the buyer on the contract, I'm out. Like, there's nothing that traces that I'm involved in this deal. So I went to Jonathan. I said, hey, you know what's going on. The seller's getting what he wants out of the deal. I'm getting, but on this contract, he could now get an additional $10,000 in his pocket. I said, would your seller be willing to cut my assignment fee out at title? He said yes, because of the relationship that Jonathan had with the seller, and the relationship that he and I, we gained a really close relationship in a transaction deals after that. But that was my first deal, and through it all, Jonathan kept telling me, he would call it. Okay, before I tell you all this, let me tell you all about JP. JP is a God-fearing man. Everything that we do, just like you, Jamil, he prays before it all. We would sit, before we were on our last closing that we did last week, we're on the phone with the title, Before we hang up the phone, he says a prayer with us. And that's just the heart that he has. He said a prayer with the title company on the phone. And, and I think it just settled everyone. Before every transaction, after every transaction, there's a prayer. And it's just his heart. And I'm just so thankful for the trust that he's had with me. And like I said, it did transform my life. So
our tribe finds each other, Brittany. We find each other because God put this in each other's path. That's the truth of it.
Yes.
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. God will always put us in each other's path because God understands that as more and more and more of us connect, we spread the word, we spread the gospel, we spread the heart, we spread our way of doing business, which in all honesty is the way.
Yes.
Right. And when you can get other people involved and caring about everybody involved in a transaction rather than just one person, this is what community building is about. And Jonathan, thank you so much for being the man you are and for bringing Brittany into your fold and working with her. We are so appreciative of it. And at the same time, your spirit. And I'm really grateful to have met you today.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So let's hear from your perspective. So, because I want people to hear, like, agents aren't scary.
No. It's hey, first of all, Jamil, thank you for everything. And Brittany, thank you for the kind words, more than that, for the friendship with you and your family, with John and your boys. It's been great. Jamil, as Brittany said, the first one she did, she picked the biggest and the baddest person in this area to go up against. His name is Doug. He owns over 700 rental properties paid for in the area. He is my mentor, and he's one of the main reasons why I'm doing real estate. In fact, before I got into real estate, he called me in his office and had me stand up, and he began to push me up against the wall and said, until you stand up and do what God's calling you to do and to go into real estate, I'm going to kick your you-know-what. The guy's he's 6'10", but he has a heart to help people. And where Brittany was going a while ago on this, we reached a point. He says, Jonathan, is this going to close? This is where I knew Brittany's heart, where we're trying to get to. I looked the man in the eye and I said, Doug, this will close. I believe in her, and I'm asking you for some latitude. This is our first time trying this, and mine as well. I said, I want to go out on a limb. Do you trust me? He goes, Jonathan, I do. And he signed off on it. But he made a statement. He said, Jonathan, be careful in wholesaling. You have to communicate up front, because here's what's going to take place. Your seller may want to know, why can she get this and you can't? He said, that's why full transparency is up front. And that's why, Brittany, for every day I checked in with you. I did not want to get caught off guard by anything.
He did.
And also on this deal, I had agreed there's a charity that I give to. I'm on the board, Steel Creek Boys and Girls Ranch. I agreed to give a percentage of the commission, because I did both sides to this organization. And as we were pouring the slab on our home, I handed the director of this organization a check to build more beds for other kids, because I couldn't, with a clear conscience, build a house for myself and when other people needed beds. A few days went by and Brittany called me. She says, JP, God woke me up in the middle of the night. Whatever you gave to charity, I'm supposed to match. So it was just actually it was a double blessing, not just for us, but for the organizations. And I've learned this from my mentor. Find your bliss. Follow your bliss. You take care of people and the money will find you. On this last transaction that we did, it's going to be the ultimate makeover, but it actually blessed someone else. And I was doing 1% to help out this as an older couple. Brittany says, JP, I'm going to do it this way. And the way it worked out, I ended up getting more than I would have thought. And Brittany, I say thank you for that.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Jonathan,
Yes, sir.
may I ask what the amount was that Brittany matched?
12, 13,000. What was it, Brittany?
For the for Steel Creek?
No.
Or-
No. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the.
Are you talking about for Steel Creek, or are you talking about
Yeah,
for the
It was 1%. Whatever that was. It was. Was
It
it?
was 1% of the transaction deal. So it was.
Was
I think
it
it was
3,000?
3,000.
3,000. Yes.
Jonathan, I am going to also match that.
Oh my gosh, y'all! You were supposed to cry. Jamil.
Jamil, I'm sorry. It was a bad connection. It was 10,000.
Thank you for making us all smile. And that
Oh gosh.
Jonathan, I am so grateful to have met you. I'm so grateful to be able to participate and to contribute as well. Emily has your information, and we will be sending that out on Monday morning.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
And the boys at Steel Creek Boys and Girls Ranch say thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, it's again, guys, it's relationships. It's not for what we do for ourselves, it's what we do for others. And even I'm just so excited to just continue this journey. And having someone like Jonathan there, and who understands now, what we do in wholesaling. It's such a bad rep of oh, they're just out to get we're here to change lives. We were talking about this recently. It was I don't know who needs to hear this, who all's on this call right now, but there's people on this call who want something different for their family. They want something different for their life. They want something different. There's, you have single moms on here. You have, people who they're here because they need something different. And the ultimate goal is to bless others.
And,
Yeah.
and Brittany, as you and I were talking, there are so many people get stuck in a rut. It ends up being a grave, and they don't realize they're right there by it. Just to win. And just very short, Jamil, 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, I was hiding in our guest bedroom in our house. I had just went through a job change unexpectedly. I'd gotten my real estate license the day before this meeting happened. And I'm actually hiding in our guest bedroom. I was afraid to come out. Didn't know what people would think or how I'd be perceived. And I found myself on all fours. And I said, God, are you out there? Do you care? And I had my rescue puppy, Jambo, was sitting there beside me, and the Holy Spirit says, come out of the room, come out of hiding. And my rescue puppy started nudging me toward the door. Till this day, I don't know who rescued who. But since that day, 24 million in sales. Oh, my broker, and the Holy Spirit says, your broker will not give you any leads. They will come from me. Till this day, 24 million in sales, 0 leads from my broker. Everything has been a referral. And from RV parks to poultry farms, there was an RV park that was on the market for 4 years. And my friend called me. I said, I'll sell it in 45 days. I actually sold it in 30. And the buyer called me. He's a developer in that area. I said, what agent will I be dealing with? He says, Jonathan, I'm talking to it. You're going to do both sides. I don't even know the man, but it gave me the opportunity. But where I'm going with this is through relationships like Brittany that helped me during the darkest point of my life. In fact, it was so bad I thought about checking out. I had never been that low before. When you lose a job at age 51, like, God, what's next? How is this going to work out? And to show you, to give God the glory, my wife and I are building our dream home. And when we close on it in the next week or two, I will move into it with over $200,000 in equity because of how we built it and the favor I have found with someone. It's all about giving.
Yes, it is. Oh my gosh. So I don't know who needed to hear that, y'all, but I mean, keep going.
We all did.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Yes. Thank you for sharing that. I mean, yeah. And like I said, the relationships that he has, it's like people trust. And when people trust you, they just come to you and they say, hey, I want you to handle this. I trust that you're going to do right by this transaction. And it's not even a transaction. It's
not.
I trust you're going to do right by this relationship. And I don't want to get off, we can go way deeper.
Right,
no. I want to, when people know that you're going to do right, what JP does, like he'll come to me and like, hey, this deal, and it's off market. Hey, this deal, before I even put it on the market, I'm coming to you. Run your numbers, let me know. And that's the relationships that we want to continue to build. So, and also you want to tie this into, Jonathan, we're actually, so before you jumped on, we use a system, talking about the system Privy. I'm not an agent. And most people on this call, they're not agents. And so we don't have MLS access. So my trust is like, hey, I'm having to comp myself. And you be honest here, you and I have come to different comps, in DRVs. And where he's like, no, it's this. I'm like, no, it's this. I said, well, these are the numbers that have to work. And he'll go back to his seller and say, this is where it needs to be. And like he said, he's reduced his commission to make my numbers work. But I don't but he and I work out a deal where we split my assignment fee, and he's taken care of. The seller's happy. The seller's at the number they need to be to make this work, to make this deal close. So I just wanted to.
Well, and Brittany, before I came on, my wife prayed over us, and I mean, our relationship, it's almost like a marriage. You have to represent the other one behind closed doors and always have their best interest. And here's the thing, we both go into our transactions. I'm trying to make it a win-win for you, and you're trying to make it a win-win for me. and when you have full transparency, I use the expression know, like, and trust. You know somebody, you like them, and you trust them. You can accomplish great things. And yes, we have disagreements. That's life. But at the end of the day, we know each other's heart and we trust each other. And some deals work, some don't. But there's no animosity, and we go on to the next one. And as I told Brittany, as my mentor told me, you make your money when you buy the property. And Brittany knows, she does her research, she does due diligence, and she's phenomenal at what she does. And sometimes what I would tell, if there's an agent or someone on the line, what I would say is communicate with your client. Ask them what is their bottom line. When you have that information, now you can communicate better with the wholesaler, and you can get to the finish line a lot closer. In fact, I made some notes on our last transaction. Brittany ended up paying there was renters in one of the properties. Brittany ended up paying half a month's rent without her client knowing that she did that. And also she gave her $3,000. There's that number, 3,000, toward repairs. I just saw that in my notes, Brittany. Isn't that amazing?
I didn't think that's a good catch.
Hey, so guys, there is a warm and fuzzy side to Brittany. I know she's a beast, but there is a warm and fuzzy side to her.
There's a lot of warm and fuzzy in all of this, JP, and in all honesty, it's about, I want to highlight a thing you said. You said the deals won't be coming from your brokers. They're going to be coming from God.
Yes, sir.
And Brittany, that was you. God used you, this relationship, what's happened here. When I talk about if you are not collaborating with your creator, you are missing the boat.
Yes.
That's what this is about.
Yes.
Amen. No, that's
Wow.
Hey, Mr. Jamal, I tell people this. I spell country with a K. I live by common sense and biblical principles and try to make my mother proud. If those three things don't line up with what we're about to do, I'm not your broker or your agent. And I get up and I walk away. Because at the end of the day, I sleep really good at night and I want to keep it that way. And I never have what's called commission breath. My broker has instilled that in me. I don't even look at that. In fact, they get on to me. It was a $2.6 million sale on a poultry farm. I never sold chicken houses, but you know what? We sold them. And I gave the man back 1%. He says, why would you do this? I said, sir, you're in a bad position right now, but maybe this will help you get turned around and restore your family. I said, that's the most important thing to me is your family. For everybody to get back together. So.
Woo! Gosh.
I'm sorry.
Woo. So, oh my gosh, have you not been transformed? Oh my goodness, y'all.
Yeah.
Powerful stuff. Well, I'm not like, wow, sorry. I'm a mascara running.
What a day, guys.
What a day. Well, I mean, I don't want to, leave this without saying this. Vincent, this system that you've created, life-changing, game-changing. And guys, if y'all haven't signed up for Privy, like y'all need to do it like now. And even if you have, once you find that agent, once you find your JP, you still, you come up with your numbers, they have access to the MLS, compare them, see if it works, see if it matches. Hey, do you have this comp and They will match. We mentioned earlier, like, so call it, a lot of stuff I do is in Bryan College Station. That's where Jonathan is located. This system isn't in, so what did we find, Vincent? It still pulls up the information, even so.
Yeah.
Where you
we still have third-party MLS data there. We still have public record data and sold data, so you can still do business there. Same as every other platform. It's just that we've taken the steps to go above and beyond and work directly with MLSs so we can have the best data there so that you can actually get the rich photos and everything else that makes it so great. It's just that you're still able to do stuff there. It just didn't have that direct data there, and we're growing quickly. So if you check our coverage map when you first log in, or when we first log in, there's all those blue areas. So we're in 40 plus real-time MLS data markets, and we're growing. And so we plan on being in probably 95% of the country with that real-time MLS data with the populated areas within the next 6 months. So if we don't have it now, we'll likely have it really soon. And in the meantime, you can still find deals and render comparables. And then also too, what Jamil was mentioning, I think yesterday, is that, if you're in an area where there's not a lot of activity going on, well, don't let that stop you. Like, go to Dallas or go to Tampa or go to Chicago or Indianapolis, where there's really lots of deal flow and you can get deals done. You can do this anywhere, you guys. We've got users all over the world that are using Privy. We've got Tel Aviv, we've got the Middle East, we've got Canada, Mexico, Europe, who will never set foot in the United States, who are using our system to wholesale right the same things we're looking at what Brittany was doing. So you can do it too. Anybody can do it.
Yeah. And then, like, as we pointed out, if you find a property and you're like, hey, I can't contact this listing agent, have an agent that you have a relationship with, that you say, hey, I want information. Hey, I'm looking at getting this property. Can you look it up? I would call JP. Hey, this property I'm interested in. Can you pull some information for me? So there's that. Do we have time for Q&A?
Yes.
Okay. Let's do some Q&A. There's a lot of questions in the chat. I don't know if Emily wants me to just read through them, or
one of the questions I keep seeing in there is, I'm having trouble with the link. Guys, use the link that Emily pinned up in the chat. Use the link that Emily's pinned in the chat. I just clicked on it. It works. So if you're having trouble, there is no code. Just use the link that Emily pinned up in the chat.
Okay. Someone asked, will the active listings have the listing agent's name and contact information available? Yes, they will, right?
No, not technically. So we will have, so it depends on the MLS that we have the agreement with. Some MLSs will allow us to show that, others won't. It just depends on the MLS. Sometimes they'll show the office name and the agent info, the agent name. Some other MLSs will show just the office name. What we figure out, Brittany, is if you come across a listing and it's not there, just Google it and it'll pop up. So it's just an extra step. It's just, with our different agreements with MLSs, they all have their own way of running their business.
Yeah. Awesome. So another question, this is a really good question. Typically, and I think we touched on a little bit, typically how much under the list price are you offering? Are you able to move deals at list price? That's a great question. So I think I talked earlier. So if I run my numbers, let's say, for example, a home is listed at $300,000 or $200,000, and the ARV, if I use 70% and 70% works at 200,000, say that, it's like, oh my God, that is a deal. Like, if it's listed at a deal, I'm still probably not going to pick it up. I can, but I can't at that price. So that's just my model. So it's probably either not for me, or I'm going to try to do creatively, or I will put a number in that makes it still a deal, where there's some negotiation for the seller. So let's use this scenario. The home is, the ARV is $300,000, and I do my calculation, and sorry guys, I'm actually going to use a calculator here. So $300,000, and 70% of that is 210. If it's listed at like 250, or sorry, say if it's listed at like 220 or 215, my rule of thumb is to come in at around 20 to 25,000 below list price, as long as it still meets my ARV number. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. In my mind, it makes sense. So if it's listed at 300,000 and the ARV, if the ARV is 300,000, is listed at 210. I'm going to be probably about $20,000 to $30,000 below that because I still have to make the numbers work. I might come in close to list price, but I don't like doing that because it's harder to move a deal at that point. But if it's a really good deal, like if it's at like if it's already listed at like 60, 65% ARV, then I'm locking it up at that. Especially like if it's in a market where the ARV should be somewhere around 70 to 75%, I'm going to lock it up at the list price because that deal works. And if it doesn't work for a buyer, then
That's their fault. Yeah.
Their fault.
Well, that's what I was going to mention, Brittany, is that,
lie.
yeah, you're right. The numbers don't lie. And your market's different than other markets. And, we were in some areas with Michelle yesterday where she was going up to 73% on her formula. And Ryan was doing 75. And, guys, we're finding stuff at 30, 40, 50% of the ARV all over the US. We just didn't look at any of those markets today or over the last couple of days. We're talking St. Louis, Chicago, Indianapolis, Tampa. They're out there. And you can literally offer over asking price. And yes, there are those buyers that have the egos that don't want to pay more than with the list price. However, there's lots of buyers that don't have that ego. And all they care about is the numbers. So if you can find those people, then you can do business with them. And the ones that pass up on it, well, that's their problem.
Yeah. If the numbers work, they work. So lock it up at the list price. Hey, JP, someone said that they'll donate to Still Creek too.
Ooh.
That's awesome.
Wow, we had no idea
JP,
where this
do
was
you have
going
a
to come.
link that we can post in the chat?
I will get that to you. Yes, sir.
Actually, let's post it in the chat now. What is it? Is it Still
I
Creek?
think a couple people have been posting it.
Yeah, someone Googled it and posted it. Let's see.
If we can get that link up there, that would be amazing, guys. If any of you have the heart to donate, we've already raised $3,000 today from myself, Jonathan. I appreciate being told about this incredible organization, and we've just put it up on the screen here, guys. It's steelcreekranch.org. There is a link there. If you have any desire to help, please do.
Y'all, that wasn't planned. Like, you guys are amazing.
Y'all
are amazing. Oh, wow. Wow. Whew, I'm not gonna cry again. There was a really good question in here that I saw. It was, if you are, where was it? So the questions keep jumping around in here.
Yeah, for those of you, I saw a couple people had some issues maybe signing up with the link. I just put my information in there, my email and the phone number, and you can just reach out to me if there's any issues. However, there's a bunch of registrations coming in, so it's not the link itself that's the issue. There could be something else going on. However, I'd be happy to walk you through it or help you out, and we'll get you in there. And then I also want to remind everybody that as soon as we get off the call here, I'm going to go in, I'm going to schedule 3 calls for next week that I'm doing exclusive training just for astro flipping people. So I'm going to be on with you guys three times next week. I'll go ahead and I'll do it different times per day so that if you've got kind of a work thing, we'll do some stuff at night, we'll do some stuff during the day. And that way you can come in and ask questions and we can talk about your use case. And depending upon the size of the group, we might be able to drill in really deep. However, it's my goal to make sure that everybody here gets the support they need and that you're not going to be left hanging. Yeah. And so, bear with me, be patient that if your question is not getting answered immediately, that I will get to you. I will make sure you get your questions answered, and I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that you've got success with the platform and that you're happy with coming on with us. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Brittany, I have 3. There's 3 really quick questions I want to answer.
Sure.
So someone asked, what's a non-disclosure state? That just means that they do not disclose what the actual sales price was. They just use it can't be disclosed to the public. Another one was, can an agent in Texas represent both the seller and the buyer legally? Yes. Dual agency. You can as an intermediary. But both sides have to sign saying that they are aware that the agent is acting. JP, do you have a?
Yeah, I want to do that.
Transaction
The first time, my broker actually drafted the correct language to use, and I was able to do that and the intermediary notice because I was not representing you, but it worked out.
Right. So there's a way to
go through your broker. Go through your broker, agents.
Yes. And then the last one was, do agents get tired and burned out if you're submitting 15 offers to them? I guess they're just using a number.
Keep them
No,
coming.
they said bring it. Keep it coming. Keep it
If
coming.
they're working, they want to work, right? That's the thing. That's you're going to find all kinds of people out there, some of them who have the desire to work, that have the motivation to get it in, and folks like Jonathan and like Monique and other agents that are incredible at what they do. They understand that. They understand that this is a business, and business requires lead generation, and it requires opportunity, and it requires taking shots. If you are not taking shots, if you are not writing offers, if you are not putting your best foot forward, there is no chance that you will dance.
Oh, I like that. I love it. And then lastly, someone asked, what's my dispo process? So I find I'm very blessed to have a really big list of buyers that I've found just through putting deals out there. So my dispo process, once I get a property under contract, I immediately send a text out to my top 5 buyers. And if they do not respond within a few hours, I will send it to actually a couple of people that I know, I guess you call hedge funds. And actually take that back. Before I do that, because they'll blast it out, I try to be careful to have it blasted out. So I'll blast it out to a larger group of buyers that I use through Podio. And these are my buyers list. If I'm coming up to getting really close to my option period coming to an end, I then will partner with someone else, like a bigger wholesale box that will dispo it for me. But I usually don't. Actually, I think maybe one time I've had to go that length. So usually my top 5 buyers, someone will pick it up.
You have been using Keegley to dispo as well.
Exactly.
So you can always, my suggestion is, guys, though, if you have a deal to dispo, call Brittany.
Yes.
Go to Brittany. Work with Brittany, okay? Her information is here. She is absolutely available, and she wants to work with you. Look at how amazing she is. Build a relationship with Brittany. It is important that you do that.
Yes. And lastly, I want to put this out there. So I know if you guys get privy, number one, get privy. No. Number one, well, sorry, it is actually 1 and 1. We're both 1 and 1. Sign up for Astro and get privy. Like, it's a no freaking brainer. If you are not an Astro student, you are missing out on like so much information. The process, it's low. I mean, it's simple. Don't make, I say KISS, keep it simple, stupid. You guys aren't stupid. That's just my acronym. Keep it simple. And Astro teaches you how to keep it simple. And sign up for privy. Signing up for privy, people are worried because they don't know how to comp. It does it for you. Like, you don't have to know how to comp. Like, it does it for you. It tells you exactly what you need to be at, and exactly what your comps are. And those of you who are new, I know a big hesitation for people getting into this is, they don't have earnest money. They're like, I don't have earnest money, so I can't get into it. I can't do my first deal. If you are in Texas and you're doing deals in Dallas, Houston, heck, Bryan College Station, that's where so those 3 markets, Houston, Texas, or Bryan College Station, and you need your first deal, but you're worried because you don't have earnest money, contact me. I will put the earnest money in. We'll do the project together and get your first deal. Do not let not having earnest money be your thing. I will do the earnest money for you, and we'll do these deals together. So my contact information is pinned in the chat. So message me, DM me if I don't get back to you right away, ASAP. But yeah.
Amazing. Emily, one more time, if you could just put that, and I'm going to pin this comment up here again, guys, before we go, so that you all know. I am, again, going to be paying for 2 people's entire year of privy, but you've got to sign up. Today is the cutoff. So if you signed up Friday, you signed up Saturday, or you signed up today, I am going to choose. And Brittany, this is how I think we should do it. Follow Brittany on social media. follow on her IG. Also follow Ryan Zolan on his IG and follow Michelle on her IG because the winner is going to be announced on one of their stories. So you're not going to know who won unless you are following them on Instagram. So make sure you are following them on Instagram because Brittany, Michelle, or Ryan, one of them, I don't know who, is going to be announcing who the two winners of the free year of Privy are. And there it is. Emily just put it on the screen. Brittany is _she-lifts. Michelle is at Michelle Garabito and at Ryan Zolan for Ryan Zolan. And guys, can we all just give some love up to Emily?
Oh yeah.
Can we give some love to Emily?
Amazing.
For all of her excellent work. You know, she's just
turn your camera on, Emily.
I woke up this morning and I was gushing. I was sending her all kinds of messages this morning, just loving on her because she is just such an incredible human. You know, she's donated her entire weekend here, guys. She works all week and then she spent Friday, Saturday, and Sunday doing this. And so if we all can just take a moment to thank her, Emily, thank you. Thank you for being just the best little sister a person could ever have, a teammate. You are incredible. We love you. You are just such a joy to work with. You are so pleasant. You are so fun. You have such a great personality, and you care so much about people. And it just shows. It just shows. And we love you, and we are so grateful for you. Can we also love on Benson for taking the last 3 days out of his life to be with us, to share with us this incredible platform that him and his team have created. Benson, we are so grateful for you. We're so grateful for this platform that you guys created and are allowing us to work off of. You are an incredible man. And again, from the bottom of all of our hearts, thank you for what you've done here for the community. And it's really meaningful.
Thank you so much. I want to thank everybody for coming here and working on a weekend and looking to improve yourself. It says a lot about who you are and what you're willing to do to make things work. There's people who are, sleeping in and watching the Winter Olympics, probably not, or out there just kind of just hanging out. You're spending time on your business and you're looking to improve yourself. And so commend yourself for being here, number one. And then the amazing team here. Jamil, thank you so much for just your faith in us and in me. And just, we've been persistent about connecting and it's finally come together. I'm just so excited to work with you and your team long term. And Emily, you've been amazing, just like on point, like perfect project manager. Everything is there, but you're also setting boundaries, right? You're not going above and beyond. I know you're working on that. And then Brittany, you're just a powerhouse. I'm just so blessed to be working with you guys. And then, Michelle and Paul, if you're still here, and Ryan, I know he's traveling in Sedona. I've just been blown away by the team and what you guys are able to do. It's and one last thing for Astro Flipping, you guys, I've been in this business for 18 years and I talk to every single RE in the country. I've seen every single coach and mentor, and I get all the emails. I subscribe to everything. There is one group, Astro Flipping, and I've been watching Jamil and Pace, and you're in the right place, you guys. You are absolutely in the right place. I know the charlatans from the ones that actually deliver and the ones that actually care. It's Jamil and Astro Flipping. You're in the right place. If you're not a member, if you haven't signed up yet, do it. 100% do it.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
So it is Sunday. I appreciate you all. It wouldn't be right if we didn't end this in a prayer too. So if you guys want to join us, let's just send this off. Father God, thank you. Thank you so much for this last incredible 3 days, Lord, for bringing us all together, for creating this incredible community, for allowing us all to have the time, to have the minds, to be able to allow our families to give us the opportunity to sit here and learn with each other. God, we are so grateful for all of the people in our lives that give us these blessings. Lord, I would love to pray for Benson, his company, for its success, for Brittany and her company and her success, for Michelle and Paul and their companies and their success, as well as Ryan and his company and his success. God, thank you so much for bringing them into our lives, for blessing them with the hearts to donate their time and their knowledge and their expertise to this community. God, we are so grateful for them, and we pray for abundant blessings in their lives. Lord, for each of us that have questions about where we belong in this business, in our day-to-day activities, we ask that you show us your heart, your goals, your will for our lives, so that every day as we work, we know that we are working with your will, with your power, and with your direction. God, we ask for open hearts and open minds, and we pray for your blessings on our families, on our days, and on our spirits. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you, guys.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Woo!
guys.
Awesome, guys. Amazing.
All right.
Love. So
Love
much
you
love.
all so much.
Brittany, I will see you in a half an hour on the Astro Flipping call. Emily, I'll see you in a couple hours on Straight Outta Compton. It's Sunday and we're still going. JP, thank you so much for who you are. Benson, Brittany, take care, everybody. God bless you guys.